start a discussion and learn from your community here in Roanoke what you'd like to see for your library project. My name is Susan Gwindon. I'm the Business Development and Marketing Director at KRM Architecture, and this is Kevin Montgomery, and he's your architect. And he's going to talk to you about what we've learned from you so far about this project and what our understanding is of the project, and then we would like to talk more with you about the things that you would like to see in your library. And we have a process to gather that information. So let's first talk about what we've done so far and go from there. Does everyone know where the space is located?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So again, I'm Kevin Montgomery, and about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, KRM was asked by the library and the board and director to come up and start this process with you and me, and specifically another architect, an older gentleman in our office, are working on the project. And we came up and met with the board in the existing space, and also the contractor that has worked a lot in that building, that was kind of representing the building owner, to talk about what they've done with the project, what the limitations of the space are, kind of what our boundary is within the building, and some things that, that they have to have control over, as the library will lease back this space. So they're really concerned with how we tie into the electrical system, the mechanical system of the building. So we started gathering that information and also listening to the staff and the board on what the needs are, the perceived needs are from the community and their own, and to start saying what needs to be bigger. Obviously you need more space. We took inventory of your shelving. If you want to grow, you need this much. How's your seating capacity? Do you need more computers? That type of information we were trying to gather, and we've done that kind of as one swath and gather what we think, and now we're here again to get the next round of information. And by no means are these drawings a final product. They're a work in progress. The first couple weeks of ideas, we've gone back and forth, with emails, some ideas to get feedback once. So I'll just start to walk you through. Here's coming off, your main street. Coming into the building, there'll be a common space with your restroom facilities, and another tenant who I think is undecided right now will be in this portion of the building. Up here, there's the frame shop on the first floor and the web design group above. And if you've been in their spaces, they're very minimalistic, I guess I'd say. They leave the exposed structure and paint, and for cost reasons, that's something the building owner and the library is imagining they'll do the same type of finishes for that. So if you walk in this general area, there'd be a main entrance off here, and then we're showing kind of the staffing point, because there's only often one staff member there, possibly two, and they need to be able to have general oversight of most of the library. So it's set up for them to be able to view computer and children area. And then over here towards the street, where the windows and really maybe the best space in the library would be this community type space, which is really more about gathering. It's your reading room. It's kind of the family room that you get to sit in, and there could be kind of a different feel as you kind of drift. When you walk in, maybe it's a little bit louder type space, more the cafe feel. Maybe you have your coffee there and you stop in and say hi and check the newspaper. Or maybe there's we're proposing maybe there's a quieter space as you move back into the building, and we do some type of privacy effect and make a little warmer and quieter feel, more the family room feel. The board suggested maybe a fireplace, which would be really exciting. So that happens along this street edge, and then you move into more of the traditional library functions with stacks and computers. This layout shows the adult collection stretching along the back to use a lot of possibly the existing furniture, which a lot of it is built in place into the wall, so we need wall space if we were going to reuse that. And then the children's collection could be in this corner. It starts to be divided off by this office from the maybe the reading space might be a little louder in the children's area, so that kind of gets this space back here, and then it shares this, the computer space that both sides would be using, and it's close to oversight for the staff. And then in the back would be a program room, similar to the function of this type of room, only specifically for the library to hold their functions. like this one. And it could be dividable, so it could be a smaller meeting room. You know, there could be your Boy Scout meeting groups there going on at the same time. Your library is using it for, you know, the author signing, or there could be a projection wall and you watch movie night there. A really flexible type space, and then a little bit of storage. And this isn't all the way to the back of the building, but this is our limit for the leasable space for the library. So that's kind of out of our control. But there would be able access from this central area. And so this option and the second option are really quite similar. There was one a little bit different that just didn't meet programmatically with how the you know, the staff need to work and security reasons. But this kind of flip-flops your children's and adult area. This could be a low, you know, partition wall. It wouldn't have to be all the way up, so parents on the computer would still have, you know, visibility to the children's area. But this really remains the same. The windows, you know, for that reading room and family room type space. Some other ideas that we're starting to play with is, you know, what's open and what's closed. This program room, you know, it will be a big step up. It's more than double the size you have now, but more space is always better. So if we could somehow, when this program room's not being used, is there a way that becomes usable space for the library? And one thing we've done at a library before that was also a small community library is you have a wall that's very flexible and opens up. So, you know, when 80% of the time maybe when this room's not being used, a large glass wall opens up and it becomes tables and chairs, so your children's room just doubled in size. Or it's shut off, it's flexible. Another idea is, you know, maybe this entrance to the main building, it's elevated a little bit, but if we made a larger opening in this wall, you can see from the street into the library space. Thought that would be exciting. So this is just really a view of these conceptual plans exploded up to give you a different idea. And then we have one kind of, you know, computer sketch animation rendering, whatever you want to call it, just schematic design. This is one of the tools we use. And this is showing it as if you know, were to walk in here and look down this way, you're kind of seeing this fireplace off to the side with a quieter reading area. One thing that's in the space right now, at this column line, from there over to the wall, there's no floor in it. So we'll be putting in some type of, you know, right now the existing is just a concrete slab. But we also have the potential to do something different, and you know, the board, we talked about, you know, restoring some of the walls, and really the contractor there, that's not going to be possible in our space because of all the patching that's happened and the stucco. It's really ruined most of the walls in our space, and they talked about wanting that feel of brick and historic, you know, bringing that inside the building somehow. So this idea is maybe we take the idea of, you know, your bricks, you know, paved streets or paved sidewalks, and you could bring that inside, and it would be finished differently than, it's not as rough as a brick street by any means. But then they could be inset within the floor, and that would be an advantage that since we're pouring this new floor, we could do something like that. And it would, you know, last forever and be really durable for that main pathway. And then over in this area, maybe we do something warmer. This is showing a wood floor, but all that's up for grabs right now. And then this would be, you know, this kind of privacy screen wall. Right now it's shown as, maybe it's glass, maybe it's where we put donor. We can get that engraved. So that's really just, you know, just an idea to give you the first thoughts of what we're thinking, and then if you guys have questions about these, or if we just want to go into the next step of how you guys can give us the feedback.
Sure. Questions?
Yep.
You said you did a shelving inventory. What is the shelving inventory currently?
It is in my computer at work.
Okay.
It counts.
And how much are you proposing? Since we don't, it'd be nice to know those figures.
Okay, well I can send you over the exact 1,000 count of your books and how we divide it by shelving. But basically we gave you 10% growth for future growth, and a 50.
How many feet of shelving are in those pictures proposed?
Your normal shelving is 36-inch length shelves, but these are 32 because they were custom built, and we're proposing that you reuse those shelves or get them, or assume that you're going to want to reuse. And if we did new, we would also adjust to the 32. So this is showing in general, a 30% increase in shelving.
For all areas?
Right, for children's and adult collection.
How much space is going to be available? Total square footage?
Your total square footage is 2,900 square feet. like I was saying, we basically said there's 10% for your future growth afterwards, but right now we need to incorporate 10% to get the books that aren't on shelves onto the shelves, and another 10% so that shelf isn't maxed out. So that when you catalog and you go up, you don't have to, you're not at the very end, so that book comes off the end and it's not in order. So we leave 10% of space for that, and then another 10% for future growth as your collection grows. So that's why that's where 30%. Hey.
Is the office area, is that all enclosed with glass then, so that they can see on every side of that?
Yeah, right now, it could be all 3 sides. Right now, we show 2 sides, mostly because there'd be storage and shelving that the director wants in there. But we could have more windows into the children's space.
Yeah, that's why, because I was wondering if it's up that way, you could see it better, but if it's off to the side, then